what we're wanting more than anything is we want to hear what you think about giving. And if you think it's important, why you think it's important. If you've seen God work through that, we want to know how you've seen that and that sort of thing. So
My example of that may not be a good one, and we can delete it. It's a good one for me,
Okay.
but we'll see about that.
okay, well, that'll be good. Why don't you just start off telling me about what you
What I
think's
want
most-
to?
What you want to.
Okay.
You start telling me what you
Well,
want to.
Scott, my name is Betty Sanders, and I've been at Westover Hills really quite a while, since the flood. Not the flood you're thinking about, not Noah's, but the flood that hit Austin on Memorial Day in 1981.
Okay.
Just a few months prior to that devastating thing, I had started attending and become a member of the Westover church family, which proved to be a real blessing to me. God knew what he was doing when he moved me up here. I guess he knew that flood was coming, I don't know. And when I thought, now where do you fall, Betty Sanders, in this little scope from very happy to very sad? And I thought, I'm the very happy one. I've never been sorry over what I have given. I have wondered many times if I gave enough and wished maybe that I could have or would have given more. But when I thought about what makes us decide, well, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I can do. And I believe it's from the heart. I don't believe it has to do with the assets and the bank account. I think it has to do with a giving heart. When Scott asked me if I could do this, he said, we've been looking for some people that we think maybe have been through the ditches and the valleys and hit some peaks, mountaintops sometime. And I said, you've got the right person, I'm qualified. But as many of those hearing me today are qualified too. But I will tell you just a couple of major situations for me. One was that my husband died after we had been married for 19 years. We had 2 children. We had been living here in Austin for some time for his being part of the university staff. Everything was just beautiful, just like we had hoped it would be. But it happened, and he was gone. That was our source of income. That was our caregiver. That was our daddy. And I thought, an impossible situation. How could anybody survive this? I did. My children did. God is so good. And you know, he works through his children that are living here with us. I'll step to another event, and that's that flood that I mentioned. This was in 1991, a number of years after my husband's death. And the Memorial Day weekend was there. I was in my house at nighttime. It had been raining, but all of a sudden I thought, I hear water running. Got up, went to the front door, opened it, and water gushed in. I got it closed. But at any rate, the end of that story is the house was ravaged. 5 feet of water were in that house. I was safe. God, he said, get out on top of that car in the back in your garage. I did. Tried to get off once and saw that was a mistake, but at any rate, the water just rushed by me, and when I saw it going down was when I could get down and walk. A TV man had his lights shining down my driveway. He was in the middle of the street intersection by my house. So I made my way to where the driveway where I could see the lights and fell in that slime and the water that was still on. But I started yelling, help. He heard me. He came, got me up, and then he said, ma'am, could I make your picture? And I said, yes, you just saved my life. I believe you can. Anyway, that time, he just opened up the floodgates for me. That was Sunday evening. On Monday morning, early, people were at my front door. I had my old church, I had my new church, I had my faculty husbands who had a holiday, Over 70 people worked at my house that day. We counted them once. And I attribute all of that to God, the blessing. I've been given to God for a long time, but God's been giving lots more to me. Now I want to tell you one more thing, and you may question it, but it is true. I was there, and I know. When we first came to Austin, we were involved with a small church family, Woods Church of Christ on West 35th. And the small group there decided we needed to move out from that area a little more out to the suburbs, which was 45th Street, and we would need to buy some property in order to get a building there. So the building fund drive was on. We had just moved. We'd spent everything moving, trying to get settled in up here. We didn't have any money to put in a building fund. We prayed about it. We talked about it. We decided, and for the first time we offered to give money we didn't have. But we made the pledge that we would give what was being suggested. We did. When income tax refund time came, now you'll question this, but it is true. That refund check that we received was almost to the dollar the amount we had given to that building fund. I know God's watching over me and what I'm doing. I want it to please Him. I want it to help people. And I guess it concerns me a bit when it pleases me so much. Our reward's supposed to be in heaven, but it sure's a good feeling to feel you've helped. There's always the ultimate goal. If you serve Christ, you're going to have a home in heaven. I really have always wanted to go to heaven. Those gold streets just fascinate me. Did when I was a little girl. I couldn't believe it, and I wondered what kind of shoes you'd have to walk on gold, streets of gold. So I think that ultimate end is important, and that's probably why this scripture hit me so. You're diligent to the end to be sure of your hope. I can't even think about what my life and the things that I've dealt with. I didn't even mention my daughter's death, but I can't know how I could survive it without God there to help me.
Miss Betty, we got your phone here, and we're going to set you up a profile, okay?
I'm afraid of those things. I'm scared to death.
You know what? It's okay. It's going to work. It's going to be amazing, all right? You just got to wait and see.
Will it go out to the people in Russia, too?
No. We hope not, but, you never know nowadays. So it looks like, what's your occupation?
Oh, I'm a retired lady.
Oh, right. All right, what about any hobbies?
Well, I used to be, and you wouldn't believe this, I won from high school graduation being the best badminton player in that school.
Badminton? Wow. Badminton's in nowadays. Yeah. They ask about your age.
My age?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't ask about that, does it?
It does. Okay, so we have your account set up for Christian Mingle.
What?
Yeah.
Christian Mingle?
Yeah, that's what you asked for.
And that kind of a matchmaking deal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, now wait, I've heard about a farmer's group. What do you know about this?
Oh, farmers.com?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. We'll get you that one later.
Trying to tell you how much I have appreciated the many, many cards that you sent me for this 95th birthday. Makes me feel so loved. I just thank every one of you. Every card is so beautiful. I cannot tell you what it means. Happy birthday to you one of these days. Maybe not 95 though, but it'll be a happy one anyway. Bye-bye.
So, here you go.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, I bet you do.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want you to miss it, but one thing I learned from this, I am not in charge.
About time.
I'm from Wooten Elementary School. And I have several teachers here from all the three schools where I work. I have, oh, now I can hear. Yes, ma'am. They probably don't want to hear me. But I want to tell the young people, you did a wonderful job with your song. Thank you very much. Some of you and to the rest of you, I don't even know what to say. I feel so blessed, but I do want to give you an invitation to church in the morning. Where is Brother Luke Northworthy?
He's back here behind us.
Oh, wave at them so they'll know who they're going to be hearing. I know he's very shy. Sometimes his hair's not too but we love him anyway, and I cannot begin to tell you what this means to me. And I had to live 90 years for it, but I believe it was worth it. And David Scott, I love you dearly. I don't know what would be happening to me now if you didn't humor me and bring my breakfast every morning. Thanks to every one of you.